It's what a time to be even more dead. Counting down all the things that make you say, what a time to be even more dead. Now, here's your hosts, Patrick Monahan, Kill Boobadoro, and Scream Lie Booed in.
Folks, welcome. What a time to be even more dead. The only podcast that makes you count on the things each week to make say the thing that. Oh my God!
Are you okay,
folks? No, I'm not. Folks, welcome to because it's saying the thing that's not the normal thing. I'm not on like total autopilot with it. Folks, welcome to What a Time to Be Alive. The only podcast the count. So we're done.
Wow.
We're done. You know what it is. You know what you're listening to.
Know.
Hello.
If this is the first episode you've ever listened to of this podcast, let us know. I want to know if anyone's like trying it out this week, this very week.
Yeah.
You'll have to wait till next week to find out the information about the podcast and what and how
intro.
the only podcast that it is.
Figure it out.
We're gonna get right into it. You don't have to sit through the thingy, you know. Also, I like the wow.
It's us.
I'm glad that's part of the soundboard now. One of my favorite sound effects.
What is that from?
For me, YouTube. But for me, YouTube Shorts. But I don't know what it's originally from.
Yeah, that's
it's
what I
one of
mean.
those-
Like, I've heard it, but where is it from?
I
Where's
don't
its
know.
origin?
Yeah. Let's do a deep dive.
That feels like something that it's like in a frequency that I'm not able to hear due to my age. Like I know,
Yeah.
I literally heard the sound, but I've never encountered it until just now. So I have
It's
no
probably
idea.
from Roblox, so that tracks.
It
you know.
seems Robloxy. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never know what that is, and it sounds like they're in trouble, right? Wasn't that in the news? So hopefully they get shut down, and then I'll never have to learn.
Roblox. Children, you know what? I support Roblox 100% because without it, there would be more youths loitering at 7-Eleven. The Roblox
Around,
keeps them
yeah.
inside. The Roblox keeps them safe. So, you know,
I don't know if it keeps them safe. I think that might be one of
That's
its
part of why
problems.
they're in trouble, I think. Yeah.
Okay, well, you know, that's
Keeps them away from me, and that's what's important.
yeah. It keeps them safe from annoying me is what I mean here.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not a danger to them, to be clear, but
Mm-hmm.
it keeps me safe from them.
Yeah, exactly.
Being
Keeps
annoying.
them from making fun of me or pointing at me or just being near me and I assume they're making fun of me. Any of those outcomes are gone.
What's your Eli? You have that joke about the teens at Popeyes. What in the joke? What do you say they call you?
I don't want to get called Winnie the Pooh at a Popeyes again in a crop top, wearing a crop top, which is, get this, fabricated. Because I think the more clear fabrication part is that I wouldn't wear a crop top. I think it probably came from just a time where I wore like a T-shirt that was a little, you know, I'm reaching up. I have a stand-up clip of a show I did where I realized every time I like lift my arm, you can see just the bottom, the shelf, just the just my tectonic plates.
That's the male stand-up burlesque routine when you're just showing a sliver of tummy.
Yeah,
That's the Elon Musk jump zone now. He does his little
God.
jumps on stage. You can see his little belly. It's really great.
I saw that clip and then I realized that someone was like, he's doing that so that he makes an X. And I was like, this is the lamest thing. I'm surprised he didn't like die in the air out of sheer lameness. Like, whoa, this is so lame that I passed away. My heart stopped.
He just crumples up into a pile of dust because it's so lame. He just disintegrates.
Yeah, he turns to stone at the apex of the jump, and when he lands on the ground, it crumbles into dust like a sun on a vampire. Man, that guy sucks, huh?
I think he's
Big
cool.
thumbs down. Can we could cut this out if it's too much. My 2025 prediction is that he's going to himself. I'm getting this on record now.
Well, that's something you want to have on record. Get your
can cut it.
apartment cleaned out if anything happens.
We can cut it.
Yeah,
If
maybe
that
we cut
got
it.
cut, listeners, check out my Twitter account for a prediction about Elon Musk.
You just got it
next
back.
year.
You just got your Twitter account back. Why would you do that?
Whatever. I don't want it anymore. If I get banned, I'm out of there. I'm off it.
I really don't. It really makes you feel
anymore.
bad to be on there now.
Yeah.
So
I don't need to do it.
Kath.
If I get banned, that'll be a funny reason. It's fine.
Yeah. There was that pattern for a while. Remember, I think it was like in the real, just like early days of of Trump, where like all these comedians would tweet, and then every day there'd be somebody on Instagram stories being like, "Well, I got silenced. You know, I got kicked off Twitter," and then they'd say what they said, and it was like a bullet pointed, like specific plan on how to like assassinate somebody. It's like, yeah, that's gonna get you banned. Like, I don't know what you thought was gonna happen, but you can't just like tweet.
Yeah, that's like not allowed.
Feasible plans. Like
that was a huge problem with a bunch of my Texas friends after the snowstorm when Ted like went to the Caribbean or whatever. Multiple people I know got visited by like the Secret Service to get questioned for tweets that they made. I think the weird thing is I think like a lot of them didn't lose their accounts, but they were investigated by like the FBI, which is like a weird combo. But
well, we're all investigated by the FBI at this point.
I mean, in a way.
I think at this point, investigating the FBI isn't even like doesn't even require groundwork. They just open your file that's been collecting in a hard drive somewhere. You know, they just boot it up. They're like, let's see what we've already recorded. From everyone's Amazon Echo. Like,
according to the people I talked to, the people who had to go around questioning everyone who yelled at Ted Cruz during that, they were like so over it. They were like, so do you have any plans to do that to Cruz? And they'd be like, no. And then they'd leave. So
yeah. No, I mean, there's plenty of like
work.
Yeah. You know, or anytime there's like a show of strength with like a public figure that's at that threat. I bet the Secret Service hate it. Where he's like, I'm not going to be cowed. And they're like, please, sir, be cowed. Please. It would be so much easier for all of us if you would just be cowed. You would actually stand. Can we just use the Pope Mobile? Can we please? Man, I saw a great tweet this week that was from the Cars movie, which I guess is just called Cars. And I guess in Cars, there's a Pope Mobile with a Pope car in it. Like the Pope Mobile is a car, and then the Pope car is inside the Pope Mobile.
Encases the head Pope of the car Catholic Church.
Yeah, and the person pointed out, they were like, this not only, establishes the Catholic Church in the Cars universe, but establishes that there has already been an assassination attempt on the Pope in the Cars universe that prompted the invention of the Pope Mobile. So yeah, I enjoy that. I like it's like the classic Muppets joke, where Muppet Christmas Story, where like, that one where Kermit in one of the, like, this is if Kermit had never been born and they'd filmed it before 9/11, so the Twin Towers are still standing, and it's like, Kermit is responsible. Yeah,
one can only assume. This also means that there was like a Turkish, wasn't it a Turkish assassin or attempted assassin who shot Pope John Paul? So there's also a Turkish assassin car apparently in this universe.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. I love it, and I hope they retcon it and then accidentally truly make it canon. Like, didn't the Minions people officially make a statement that were like, the Minions did not help Hitler? They said no or whatever. It's like, well, this isn't going to
said no to Hitler.
This isn't going to quell discussion of whether the Minions would have helped.
Who did they say yes to? So they were like massacring intellectuals in Indonesia? Like what did the Minions help do?
Vlad the Impaler probably had some minions putting them up, yelling banana while inserting a rod into someone's anus.
All of human recorded history, they were asleep, okay? They were asleep in the cave.
They were in a slumber.
And now they work for the worst guy who's like kind of a mean guy, right? It's not even really clear. But he's the worst guy.
Yeah.
Is he even in them after the first one? I feel like they kind of rose on their own star power. I don't know if they need him anymore.
They definitely still have the Despicable Me's, but it's definitely Minion forward.
Yeah, because we had the rise of Gru. We learned about his rise.
That's true. We did learn about his rise, so he is presumably still in the picture.
Why are you not going to call that Gru's coup? Gru's big coup. And if it's 2, that's incredible. Despicable Me 2, Gru's big coup. I'd watch that just for out of respect.
I think it was just him growing up. I don't think it was like a coup though.
Baby Gru.
Is growing up a coup?
Yeah. So it's just can I refer to that as my rise during my rise?
Yeah.
I wore a lot of inadvisable T-shirts during my rise.
The rise of Eli. Drew a lot of dragons during his rise.
During my rise to power. Yeah.
Oh, pretty cool. Russell Brand's in Minions Rise and Gru. He plays Dr. Nefario. So that's cool.
Nice.
So check that one out.
Dr. Nefario.
Do you see
gotta
people
get
like,
that voice in there, you know? It's not
really
it's really great to hear. It's not annoying at all. So you gotta get him in there.
Yeah.
Simply no one else can sound like that. He's the only one. He's the only guy who sounds like he's about to you. And did.
Yeah. The gavel really driving it home.
I
Gavel,
love when people
polar
post
opposite
that.
of the word allegedly.
Allegedly did.
It is the sound equivalent of refuting an allegedly. It happened, folks.
Yeah, go to Cast Twitter. It's going to be the most deleted, legally deleted.
This is going to be the last episode of the show.
I didn't say any death threats. I just made a prediction. That's all.
Kath
It's fine.
Barbadora school walkout.
Barbadoro.
Barbado.
That's when I'm your bae. Barbadoro.
Boo
School
Baydoro.
walkout for me? Sure.
That's when we play the Girls Gone Wild music. It's Kath Barbadoro. We get a little an island feel.
We need the Girls Gone Wild music on the soundboard for sure.
We have it.
It'll be for people 35 plus, but it's I feel like it's important.
It's the opposite of that wow sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's depressing. It's that sound, but oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm 99% sure we do have it and have heard it because I think but it's a tough sound to play because it immediately invokes like a fugue state and you're like, oh, like you're like, why do I remember this? And you're like, oh no, yeah, there it is.
I came just a few minutes ago.
Oh no.
That is Tim
Taco Bell and titties?
Waltz. That's someone angrily ringing the Taco Bell bell a lot.
I feel like
The titular Taco Bell.
Yeah.
From the thing. I feel like Shelby, we were talking before we started, we're all very tired. We're recording on the evening of a weeknight, and I feel like Shelby was like, got it, all the sound effects. We will. Thank you for pulling your weight, Shelby. We
When
appreciate
Kath
it.
gets tired, she says a bunch of actionable statements. That's how you can tell Kath is tired.
Anything. Oh my god. If we do
should
beep
put
it out, it's gonna like people are gonna think I'm like a monster if we beep that out based on how you guys are describing it.
We should probably get to numbers.
Oh, shut up.
Shut up.
We should put up on YouTube like an actual 10 hours of Shelby Unleashed, and it's just Shelby doing whatever he wants for 10 hours, and then we can just run ads on it and collect, just leave it on in the background. It's the opposite of ASMR.
Look, there's
It has
somebody
been a
out there
while
who
since
needs
we
that
put
to
out-
sleep. So
Yeah.
that makes
It has
sense.
been a while since we put out a Shelby DJ set. We might be due for another one. Might be
Shelby
time.
Boiler Room set. Make it happen. The listener
Been
who
waiting.
runs the boiler room.
Just all those
James Blake nodding his head behind Shelby.
right?
Getting into it.
A bunch of people who look like the original NES ice hockey, with the fat guy, the skinny guy, and the regular guy, but they're all versions of Ella Emhoff, and they're all dancing behind Shelby while he plays the "I Want to Hold Your Hand" barking dogs.
Shelby on the decks while Suge Knight smokes a huge cigar behind him. Shelby
Okay,
watching
numbers.
Vanilla Ice get dangled off
Book
the
it.
balcony. Okay, numbers.
Numbers. Book it. This story comes to us from Boolington Steamcoat Factory in the Discord. If you would like to submit stories to our podcast, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/whatatimepod. PSA, web only joining for now. So if you want to join, go to our website, not the Patreon app, Patreon.com/whatatimetobealive. That's not it. Patreon.com/whatatimepod. That's it. That's where you join.
If you're currently subscribed, it's fine.
You're good.
Don't do anything.
Yeah.
Keep giving us your money.
And by your
just for new
website, the
people.
Patreon website, so it's just not the iOS app.
Go to twitter.com/CathBarbadoro to PayPal me $5 and read a threat, apparently.
Solicit a legal letter.
Subscribe to my
Patreon.com.
Substack, which is just threats.
The threat stack. It's fun. If you give me enough money, I'll do one against you. Yeah. You can sign up at the $10 a month level and submit stories like this one, such as Boolington Steamcoat Factory has submitted. This is from The Guardian. I feel like this is a heartwarming story. It's from Australia. I feel like we've done an Australian story about a cockatoo before. This is a cockatoo related tale. So this is a cockatoo named Mickey, who has been, he's finally been apprehended. He's been at large. For a month, he was living inside a Sydney grocery store, quote unquote, living on brioche. So just going to town. I know.
Love the phrase living on brioche. It sounds like an old, like, yacht rock album, you know? Like living on brioche.
Yeah, it is like a weird like cousin to like living on sponge cake. So it's basically the Margaritaville lyric. Actually,
Yeah.
I was like, why does that sound like Buffett? Because it is in fact very close.
Yeah. So yeah, have they done a heart exam on Mickey? How are his arteries doing
his
after living on
cholesterol, yeah.
brioche? Yeah.
Well, they said he's, quote, physically fine, which is a really funny way to be like, how's he emotionally? Like, why?
Yeah. Doctor
having
walking out of
trouble?
the ER to your family in the waiting room. Physically, your son is fine, but mentally, he's not very smart. Just wanted to make that clear. Yeah, physically fine.
Yes.
The bird is physically fine.
Mickey's physically fine, quote, he just needs to chill out, relax, and come down without thinking that people are trying to catch him. So that was how they got him. They were like, reverse psychology on Mickey.
Lull him into a false sense of security and then get his ass.
Yeah, not high chances. I think if they're like, oh, just hope this cockatoo chills out. Probably not. I feel like most cockatoos I'm familiar with are not chill. They're screaming a lot.
It's funny because they're like trying to catch him, and there's just a picture of him sitting on the outside of the cage. Like, you guys need a better strategy than this.
You can't catch a bird. It's like, you're fucked, man. Like, there's just a hard, almost literal ceiling on if the bird doesn't go below, 8 feet, you're done, dude. Unless you got a big net.
Yeah, it kind of wins.
Or a rifle.
So, like, this wasn't... I think the reason they were like, he's physically fine is... So the owner of the store, like, knew he was in there, and they couldn't get him out, so he would leave out little pieces of bread and water for the bird. But it's a grocery store, so, like, first of all, bird shit all over your groceries. No good. Second of all, the lights are never, like, fully off, and so this bird, it probably is, like, psychologically fucked up. Because it's been in... it has not had darkness for a month.
It's like raising a bird in Vegas. Like, you know, what does it do? But also, I thought you were going to point out the most obvious flaw with leaving out bread and water in a supermarket, which is that the entire thing is food. Food is everywhere. You're laying a trap in an environment made entirely out of food that's probably tastier than bread and water. Yeah.
Well, apparently he was eating the bread and water, so it did work. There was for a while a rumor of a quote unquote kill order, but that was false. People were spreading this rumor.
Jesus.
Mickey was burned. MI6 denied any knowledge of Mickey. There's a kill order put out on him. Yeah.
So, they were like leaving out traps and it wasn't working. I'm pretty sure they did it they finally just sort of coaxed him out of the exit. So he like flew away. But it took a month and it says earlier on Tuesday, Sharp, who's like the politician in this county or whatever, said Sharp promised the bird was, quote, not going to be shot, which, like, if you say that out of the blue, I'm like, that bird's getting shot. Why are you refuting this very specific claim? But thankfully Mickey ended up okay, ended up free. So very happy. Quote, I'm looking forward to seeing Mickey back in the wild where he belongs.
I was coming right
they
back.
got like so many politicians involved in this. There's like the New South Wales environmental minister is involved in this. A local MP gave a quote. Like people were really their feathers were ruffled. Huh?
Seems like a blissful political environment to be experiencing
Right? Can you imagine?
late October 2024.
Well,
you guys are
sure
talking about birds? You're doing bird puns?
I think they have their own issues over
sure.
there, but
They got some problems.
But I'm picturing every one
Like
of these
the
guys
ring.
was gotten every one of these people that the politicians they had to call in on this. I'm just picturing the prime minister in The Simpsons of Australia, who's just in a pool floating in a tube with a beer, and they're like, "Hey, Andy!" That's
Yep.
that's what it is. They're all just hanging out.
Sunscreen on his nose.
The old zinc, the pure white
The
zinc
classic
nose.
zinc.
I also like this.
You don't see a zinc nose too often anymore.
No. We've come a
We
long
gotta
way
bring
in
that back.
sunscreen. Yeah.
We really have. We owe a lot to Japan and Korea on that front. That's where I get
Oh,
mine.
yeah.
But
Aqua Rich.
I don't know, I kinda-
Dior, good stuff.
absolutely, that's what I use.
Sponsor us, Korean skincare brand.
Yeah, look at
That'd
our
be a
great skin.
sponsor. Yeah. It's not helped by Zoom's filters. Wow. I also like that they mention in here that the brioche and water. So the night manager had been feeding it the whole time because the night manager is, quote, very fond of the bird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sad.
that's who
Yeah.
was feeding him the brioche. They were friends. It was
Yeah.
nice.
I
You
mean,
got- I guess, yeah. Are you familiar with the making bacon pancakes bird?
that's Jake from Adventure Time. Making bacon pancakes.
There's a bird that dances to making bacon pancakes and says making bacon pancakes. I just put a video in the chat.
Delightful.
Check it out later. It's nice. That's what I'm picturing this guy was doing. This bird was doing just with some kind of brioche based little chant.
Yeah.
I've kind of come around on birds lately. I feel like I used to not be into them, and now I'm like, I think they're kind of cool. I don't think I would own one, but I kind of respect people who own them now. I used to think they were weirdos, but now I'm like, you know what? I get it. Birds are kind of cool.
I don't.
I'm alone in this opinion, apparently.
No,
I mean, the pet thing, birds in general, cool. I don't like when people teach them, like, that guy that teaches birds how to identify, like, glass. I don't like that.
I don't
Or they
think
taught
a bird should
cockatoos how
have
to
to go
pick
to
locks.
school.
Yeah.
I don't think birds should have to like learn human stuff. I think that's they should just get to chill and be birds. But I think it is cool when they can talk a little bit. I think that's neat.
Is it friend of the show Allison Libby who has the bit about like going home with somebody and waking up and their apartment was filled with bird cages?
Filled with birds.
Yeah.
Filled with birds, multiple birds.
Yeah, it was the Pigeon Man from Hey Arnold. That's went home with the Pigeon Man from Hey Arnold.
I was really hoping when I moved to New York that I would meet at least one pigeon man. I don't know where they are. Do people still have coops on their roofs? I'm not invited if they are, but
There's this is so
they're
like
on
on
the
brand
damn
that
roof.
it's almost like cliche, but there's an elderly folks home near me and they throw like 2 loaves of bread out a day in front, and so there's
Hell yeah.
always mega pigeons. And it's also a minefield for walking your dog. You're just like, please don't eat a ton of bread. I don't know what that's gonna do. Yeah, but I don't actual pigeon man. People have them on roofs, right? I don't know if they publicize it. I don't know if
allegedly,
you're allowed.
I that's the thing is like I guess I wouldn't know. I'm gonna
My friend-
buy one of those like tourist helicopter rides and just be like, can you bring me real low over these roofs? I gotta check something out.
Yeah,
my-
look for coops.
Some of my friends lived in a building where there was a sort of coop situation up on the roof, but there wasn't like I wouldn't call there a pigeon man. You know, there wasn't like a, you know, like there was like the owner of the building was a hobbyist and, you know, and I guess collected the, you know, and also collecting the rent, or the manager of the building or whatever, but he wasn't like up there all the time. You know what I mean? It's not what you're picturing, as like a pigeon man.
Collecting pigeons on the roof and rats in the basement and then having them fight in a grand war, setting them up in an auditorium, loosing them at each other. The Battle of New York could happen. Could be real.
We'd be powerless to stop it if it was.
Yeah.
We just have to get out of the way.
Hey, if you're enjoying this regular episode, I bet you'd also enjoy the bonus episode, of which there are hundreds available to you on our Patreon at patreon.com/whatatimepod. If you are a new subscriber, just make sure that if you're using the Patreon app, you are not able to sign up through the iOS app. Just sign up on the web. So go to patreon.com/whatatimepod on your browser and sign up there.
This week, we talk about our favorite Halloween costumes from childhood, rank some trick-or-treating candies, and also talk more about the TikTok guy who has temper tantrums. We love him.
And we also do every week on our bonus, you can listen to the regular episodes ad-free. So check that out, patreon.com/whatatimepod.
Number 4?
Number 4, this comes to us from Iguana Helium Cube in the Discord. And this is another story from one of the Down Unders. This one is New Zealand. And this is, I think, a good move. I wouldn't think that I'm the most efficient person in the world most of my life, but when I'm in the airport, I am quite intolerant of lollygagging of any sort. I don't like the what do they call? They say they call them gate lice. That when people like just crowd around the door, even though their boarding group is like 3 groups away, there's like
I hate that.
Seagulls. Yeah, apparently the agents had nicknamed them gate lice, and yeah, it's a sign of season, man.
It's the equal but opposite standing up the second the plane lands, which I also get out of here with that. Relax.
Yeah. I'm allowed because my knees are in shambles by the end of a flight. My knees are a pile of dust and bone, and my cartilage is bulging. But
maybe that's why everybody's doing it, and I should be more charitable. But it's like they're not going to see you and like do the gate faster. Like they know you want to get off the plane.
Oh yeah. Well, I still wait until we're like pulled in, unless it hurts. But so New Zealand, what they've tried to address here is that in the drop-off zone of the airport, they apparently have had a problem with excessive, though time-wise, not area-wise. We're not talking heavy petting, cuddling and hugging in the drop-off zones for the airport. And so they've put up a sign. They've officially limited it to. There's a sign here. It says max hug time 3 minutes. For fonder farewells, please use the car park, which I think is fair. I think that's a completely fair thing to do. And actually, now that I'm reading this, I do remember, I think last time I went to an airport, like there were like people like standing kind of in a really inconvenient spot, like getting out of their Uber or whatever. That, you gotta get, I think Uber's almost made it worse because Ubers aren't going to stop and, like park. So there are a lot more people just kind of like out halfway into the street, just like hugging and doing all that.
I mean, like once you're on your way to the airport, it's kind of, I mean, you say goodbye, but you got to be moving into the airport away from whoever's saying goodbye to you. There's not like a lot of, the 3 minutes thing seems more than fair.
I'm trying to remember, because like when I moved to New York, I was like dating someone and we broke up because I was moving. So, and like he drove me to the airport and like that's like probably the most like emotional like goodbye I've had in an airport. And I feel like we were still like, oh shit, we're in the way. Bye. And like, then we were like sad separately after. Cause like you're in the way. And also you can't be doing that in front of people. I don't know. Maybe I don't think I'm a particularly reserved person, as the fact, as hours of this podcast would say, but like, I don't want to be having a big emotional thing in front of a thing where everyone's honking at me to get out of the way. Like, I don't know.
You got to you do like a real goodbye, and then
you do it before you get in the car. Yeah.
There's like, at most, I think that like shoulder, collarbone to collarbone, like bent over hug, and then a wave.
Do a quick little hug. Quick little hug and a kiss. Goodbye.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then they have so there's critics, surprise, on Facebook, surprise, that a lot of comments. One specific one they cite is a commenter who described it as
a commenter.
Well, they wrote
peasant?
it as commentator, which is also wrong. Like
guy just bringing
a serf has weighed in.
with like a
Can't even
bucket
afford to go to the airport. What does he have to worry about?
dragging a bucket of slop.
Go till the land. Get off Facebook.
Yeah. Spending 10 minutes fixing up your boy's lesions before you drop him off in the big city at the gates of the castle to become a squire.
I have to
Keep
apply
him
the
moving.
salves before
Yeah.
I drop him off.
His salves, his unguents, please. My
I have to change your poultice.
We gotta bring
That's
those back,
who you
man.
don't want to sit next to on an airplane is somebody who brought their poultice. No thanks.
Hey, could you be careful? You're jarring my poultice. It's pretty.
We got to bring back chewing up leaves and putting it in the
Yeah.
whole thing and just kind of spreading them on there.
If my poultice cracks and falls off my lesion, it's going to be bad news for me. And I don't have any more.
You don't want to smell under there, okay?
I can't make another one because my willow bark is in my checked luggage, so I can't chew it up and spit it onto my lesion. I think bring it back though. We got like ointment's stupid.
Okay, the WikiHow for 3 ways to create a poultice. The image on Google Images is got a mortar and pestle, which I know is not like. But for a second I was like, what is with this like guac? Because it looks like one. It looks like you know what I mean. It looks
Is
like
guacamole a poultice?
For a quick second, it looks like a guacamole bowl.
It's probably good. Get healthy
table
fats.
side. Just
Poultice.
watching them make it and then just putting it in your wound. It's like, okay.
I mean, they make it
fancy.
They make it in a fucking mortar and pestle. That's a poultice, dude. You're getting a tasty unguent to coat your
I think
insides.
guacamole is a form of an unguent for sure.
Yeah, a poultice. Man.
Anything else on the WikiHow we should know for how to make a poultice? Chew up the leaves. Number one.
Well, you don't have to chew them up if you're using a mortar and pestle. I suppose
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
You gotta get that spit in there, though.
Let me
I know
pull
it's
it up
part
here.
of it.
We can all learn something here. Where did it go?
Poultice making.
Oh, here we go. Okay, this is another one. Yeah, okay. A poultice, also known as a cataplasm. I learned something today. Yeah, it's a folk remedy. Okay, scrolling past the what one shot of olive oil does with somebody chugging olive oil. Okay, so
Give you diarrhea, I think.
Yeah, taste bad, hurt stomach.
Okay, so mixing step 1, mixing your poultice. You select the ingredients. So we got Indian strawberry, thyme, eucalyptus, dandelion, garlic, mint. Okay, a lot of these are food, straight
That's
up.
a salsa.
So, yeah. Making a chimichurri. Okay. Honey, neem oil, milk, water, coconut oil, olive oil, 1 shot of olive oil. So then you wash
How many
everything.
fucking oils do you need?
See, this thing is like, this is a poultice being made in a home with a sink and like a colander and stuff. So, anyway, so you mix it up, make minor adjustments, and you apply it to your skin. You wash your hands for at least 2 minutes.
Wow. It's powerful stuff. You don't want it
that's
on
a
your hands if you don't.
long-
It's like self-tanner.
Long time. Spread the paste on your skin with a finger or a spoon, and then you wrap it and leave it for 4 to 6 hours.
Okay.
When
very long.
when to seek medical care before doing the poultice.
When
Use
you've
the
gone
poultice
to
when they
this
send you
page,
home.
it's time to seek medical care.
Also, like, I get that, like, whatever. There's real shit in natural ingredients.
Of course.
There's natural painkillers and stuff.
Willow bark
4 to
is
6
aspirin.
hours is so short. Like, you have to leave, like, full strength prescription medication on for longer than 4 to 6 hours. Putting dandelions on your arm for 4 hours, then pulling them back off.
I assume you swap them out. You
Keep
make up a
doing
new
fresh
one.
ones. Yeah.
gotta keep
no preservatives in
repoulticing.
that poultice.
Again, to leave it to leave it to the professionals.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. I hope I never have to make a poultice. That is my. That I would consider that a success if I get.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you won't get to make it because you're already dead before you would need. It's like, okay, well,
That's what
fair
Kamala
enough.
should be running on is like, I will make healthcare affordable so that no one has to do poultices anymore.
Unless they
People are
want
doing-
to.
Unless
Yeah.
they want to.
People are doing
Please don't vote
poultices.
against me if you're like a weird health freak who wants their
Yeah.
poultices.
Yeah.
Um,
This I
yeah,
don't like
but,
this definition describing it as a soft, moist mass of material. Don't
Yeah.
care for that.
Cataplasm.
Me too, dude. Me
Check
too.
it out.
That's aren't we all?
That's me when the AC is not high enough.
Yeah.
What were you
but
going to
yeah.
say that the surf said? We got off on a big
I don't
tangent.
have any fucking idea.
Okay, fair enough.
Was
Oh, I
it?
said
Fair enough.
commoner. Oh,
The
right,
commoner.
Yeah.
Surf's
That's how we
up.
got here. I was just going to also say that we should
Radical,
bring the word
dude.
salve back, because that would be more fun if you were like,
Salve?
instead of getting like ointment for your hemorrhoids, you're like, I need a salve.
I got
Please.
some salves. I
Salve?
definitely
yeah,
got
but
some
they're just
salves.
the expensive. That's what they call it because it's expensive skincare stuff. They're like, this is. They should do.
It's
a poultice.
basically just various forms of Vaseline that they upcharge you for. Vaseline is like the salve of our times, I think.
Oh yeah, Wonder Jelly. That's what they
Good stuff.
called it. Yeah,
Probably, it's like motor oil, right? Isn't it like,
petroleum
isn't it like
jelly.
a byproduct of, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, though. Works wonders.
Too cool. There was the guy who invented it went to like a drill. It was like there were drillers working in a mine or whatever, and it was like the oil they put on the drill, and when they got hurt, they just rub it like fucking Sandlot style. They'd be like, just rub a little bit of drill oil on you, and then they like it was kind of working, and the guy was like, what is this? And then it's cool.
What is,
anyways,
this
just
folk,
commenter.
what is this folk remedy from the drillers, the local?
Yeah. Drill oil, the new medical marvel. So yeah, how we got here was that the commenter, they described this rule as inhumane, which I think is a very dramatic way to describe this. I feel like the word
Great.
inhumane gets tossed around quite a bit.
It's like if you don't keep to the rule, they start whipping you or something.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
it would be
yeah.
if it were inhumane.
Just throw me in the brazen bull already. Enough.
yeah. I feel like there's like people at coffee shops with like Yelp reviews. They're like, I was treated inhumanely. And there's
Ooh,
like the
that's-
coffee shop violated the Geneva Convention when you were in there. That's
I love to find like phrases to search in Yelp reviews to get really funny Yelp reviews, and I feel like inhumane is a great thing to search
Yeah.
on Yelp to get
inhumane is good.
just the cream of the crop of insane people. That's
Yeah.
a really good one. I'm going to try that out after this.
I was denied water at the Starbucks. like,
It's like, if you've been getting hugged by your relatives for more than 3 minutes, you will next be hugged by the Iron Maiden. That is what's coming next for you.
you will be reverse hugged by the rack. The rack will stretch the hug back out of you.
Oh man.
We'll undo the hug.
Hate
But I
to
mean,
be on the rack.
Look, we all know like the rack at like 5%. That's about as good as it gets.
That feels really good. Yeah. if you could like microdose the rack, paradise.
Just get me on there and just pull my lower back apart a little bit. Oh baby.
Chiropractic. It's YouTube.
Me
YouTube.
on the
Big,
rack
huge
to this
YouTube
music.
shorts. Huge crack on the rack. Listen to the sound of this crack on the rack. That's what they're doing. Some like neck strapping people. Some guy with huge biceps. Like it's like a
Pretty much.
60-year-old man with huge biceps yanking your spine. And they're like, oh, you were in a car accident that you've been in physical therapy for 60 years? What if I pull on you really hard? Yeah, so
Give it a yank. You never know.
Yeah.
It's like it's like when you get a massage and they pull your head and it's like they're trying to pull your head off. That feels about as good as anything feels.
That's such good stuff. Ooh,
should have
man.
poultices
I think I'm
to
going to go this
massage.
weekend. I'm excited.
I need like a giant to pinch me by the head and just hold me for not enough that I like actually get hurt, but just for like a second, and then just drop me back onto his palm.
Oh, yeah,
and then
dang.
I think that would
Dangling
give you
around.
like lifelong problems, but I understand why you want it to happen. It
Well,
does, like,
just be like,
in the moment before you have chronic, like, dislocation of a bunch of bones, it would be the best moment of your life.
No, sometimes I thought I was like, oh, there should be like a thing because for my back, when my back hurts, I'd be like a thing that you can kind of like set your neck into and then you hang from it, and then I realized that that's a noose and that's how the execution. So also,
Feel really good for like 1
And, like,
second.
the noose.
What? And instead
You know
of,
the
like,
noose would feel good.
you know,
For a second.
and I'm trying to relax, so like put like a bag over my head maybe or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Block out
So it's
external
nice and dark.
stimulus and suspend me from a slip knot. Very calming. It would decompress my vertebrae. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to drop through the platform, but if they lower you down slow.
Just a little bit so I'm on my tippy toes, just a nice little stretch.
That cat wants to be dancing on a chair with one broken leg.
Yeah.
That's what they don't tell you about the occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge. For like a split second, it felt great, and then that was it.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, if you go to this airport, you can't hug for longer than 3 seconds.
Keep it short. Number three.
Number three
comes to us from Benny Jesuit Witch in the Discord, and this is a story that I'm conflicted about because, I'll just give the description. Koi carp collector loses 25 prized fish in, quote, otter massacre. That's the description. And this is sad, sort of on its face. This is a guy who's raised koi for 40 years. I don't know how old some of them are, but the crime scene photos are disturbing.
That's what I'm laughing at right now.
Yeah. There's just a bunch of fish laying around. Most of them are not even like eaten. They're just like laying there.
They're just like...
Just got pulled out of the water by a greedy otter and left there?
A buddy of mine texted me. He said, does anyone have eyes on halloumi? And that's my question as well. I don't know.
They're like, they're laid out so perfectly spaced in this photo, too. They're like in the golden ratio, like just dead carp all over the...
Wow, he's like a Hannibal murderer. Like he's leaving an elaborate crime scene of the fish, this otter.
This is his design,
to be hunted by Will Graham.
Like
he sliced the otter up into glass panels and displayed it.
So this place is in Buckfastleigh, Devon. These fake ass British.
Ladies
places.
and gentlemen, fish.
Okay, so Dartmoor Otter Sanctuary.
So this guy lives in Breakfast on Devon or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he lives at Redwall Abbey. He's having black currant.
Yeah.
This guy's in East Dunbartonshire, which is really just like too many syllables.
These all sound like
tighten
Pokemon,
it up, Britain.
like lakes. Yeah, like badly translated Pokemon lakes.
Okay, they are very far away. They're a 9-hour drive, so I feel fairly confident that Halloumi is not responsible for this.
Unless Halloumi went on a homeward bound style journey, probably not.
Halloumi innocent.
Halloumi.
Totally exonerated.
So so this is a drag. I don't know where the otters came from. I guess they're near a river or something. But
10,000 pounds of damages, by the way. Money pounds, not weight pounds.
10,000 pounds of damage.
It could have been otters or
my
mink.
Nickname.
People say.
Yeah, I was gonna say 10,000 pounds of damage. What was your mom there? My God.
Oh yeah, this is sad. It's in his entire collection, and one of the fish was 35 years old. So,
oh, poor guy.
How bad can you feel about a guy who calls animals his collection? That's very.
No, he's
you make
nice.
a compelling point. You make
my
a
collection.
He would hand feed
my
them.
portfolio.
He'd flex in front of the fish with his William Blake tattoo and tell them to look at
this
the
guy's
beauty.
nice, and this is sad, and this is an unfortunate occurrence. And the otters who are responsible, or mink, or whomever, need to be brought to justice, whatever that entails.
I'm going to blame the mink for this because I don't like them as much.
Yeah,
I'm okay with them writing them off.
Get back into coats.
Make them into coats again.
Yeah, exactly.
Mink have had a rough go of it, I would say.
That is true. That is very
Mink have
true.
had a rough time.
There's no need for this wanton, destruction. It's just this loss of life for they're not even eating them. It's disgusting.
Yeah, they're hunting for sport.
It's wasteful. The crime scene photos show like a lot of waste. Which denotes a kind of brutality that I don't want to ascribe to either of these animals. I know they got to kill stuff to live, but don't have to kill extra just for fun. Come on.
Yeah, what do koi eat? They're carp, right? Little guppies or something? I don't know what you're supposed to feed
They
these
eat
guys.
goldfish crackers, weirdly enough. That's what you feed.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not the only koi What is going on here? Okay, this guy's. You go to the bottom of the BBC thing here, and there's the stolen koi carp were a part of the household. This is from the October 15, so this is less than 10, and the other one was from 3 days ago. So these are like less than a week apart. So,
oh my God,
this is a guy in Staffordshire, and he lost 70 fish.
15,000 pounds worth of koi. Again, money, not weight. According to him, were stolen.
Pounds sterling.
Why do all these people in the UK have like extremely expensive koi collections?
These feel like they were people. This is because like this, they were taken out of a tank.
Oh yeah, this one was people. Yeah. This was not, unless the mink have like human people? Slaves.
Oh my God, there's a lot going on. Okay, there's a lot of koi content here. This is from 2022. Hemel Hempstead, koi carp worth 8,000 pounds stolen from Garden Pond. Hemel Hempstead is apparently a town, a garden in Honeycross Road. Come on, man.
Honeycross Road, yeah, that's where Winnie the Pooh works.
Sticky Bun Street.
Yet another story from August 2023. The Grosvenor Pulford Hotel near Chester had $2,000 worth of koi stolen, and they caught an otter on the security cam. So... This is crazy.
There was 100,000. Each fish was worth 2,000. There were 50 that were taken.
Oh my God. What is happening over there?
I don't know, man.
I mean, I think you're making food pools in an otter environment. I don't know how much bread you are.
That's fair.
It does.
This is like the opposite of the cockatoo in the grocery store. It's like you made a grocery store for the otters, and they're coming. Yeah. They're going shopping.
Coming.
And then this one's a video
style. They're coming.
There's one that's a video, not an article. The koi rescue man with 300 fish in his Tuffley garden. Tuffley. Come on, dude. All right.
Also, I just want to say how fun it'll be. Whatever it was that you're like, it's, Brappardshire near Chester. And you're like trying to go to, and they're like, it's near Chester. And you're driving there and there's just a guy on the side of the road who's like, hello, I'm Chester. It's over there. And you're like, oh, it's Chester. That'd be
near
fun.
me.
I think it'd be a fun gag.
Creepy thing about this, the guy says he has 300 fish in his back garden, and he says one of them is the size of a child, which is a weird way to put that, I think.
I don't like that. I feel like he got that way because you're feeding them to him or something.
Oh, he's the size of a human child.
Human child.
That's a very funny joke from another friend of the pod, Bobby Condon, who has a new special coming out as the taping talks about. I don't remember what it was, as someone described it as the size of a baby's skull. He was like, how about a grapefruit? How about a baby's
a softball,
skull?
Perhaps? Why a baby's skull? That's
or at the very least, why not a live baby's head? A live baby's adorable head. Yeah.
Yikes.
Very funny.
So yeah, I'm sorry to this guy. This makes me sad. Otters are going to do what otters are going to do. If the solution to this is not to clamp down on otters writ large. Unfortunately, you just got to protect your koi ponds, I guess, a little bit better.
Put a little otter-proof cover on there or something.
Hard. They got those little hands. I will say this guy also has great facial hair for somebody who collects koi because he has like kind of a long soul patch. So it's like
he should grow the little mustache, the little thin mustache.
I don't think you can grow that mustache anymore.
Not allowed? Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think the Fu Manchu is off the menu.
But what if you're like, it's okay, I collect koi?
Yeah.
I think it's all right.
Yeah.
Only if you're that guy, though.
Yeah. So, like I said, hopefully he gets some new koi and he, is able to get some semblance of peace back. But in the meantime, sorry to him. Best of luck to him.
Absolutely.
And, lock it up, whichever animal, at least eat them. Don't make them see them.
Don't make a mess.
Laying all over the ground.
Yeah. Clean your
place.
place.
Friends. Insult to injury in that place, for sure.
Leave it around like it went buck wild at a Golden Corral. You eat what you put on your plate.
Is that what you do at Golden Corral? Leave a tornado of food around you?
Well, like, there's a thing at Golden Corral. I've been scolded at a buffet where you, like, not by an employee, but, it's like my parents or whatever. It's like, because you go get all this shit and then you're like, oh, I want to get more or something, but you haven't finished the whatever else is on there. And there, you got to clean your plate before you get another.
It's like you're being slightly wasteful. It's like, I promise you, I am very far from the most wasteful person here.
It is a buffet, sort of definitionally.
You put Jell-O next to chicken and pizza.
Yeah.
That's why I go there specifically for the opportunity to do that. I want my fried ice cream next to my crab leg or whatever.
I like to introduce
crab
them.
leg, key buffet item. Crab leg.
So good.
You got to have crab legs in there.
I think it's nice that those different foods get to meet at Golden Corral at a buffet, you know?
Yeah, it's like a
you're bringing them
mixer.
together. Hey, dumplings, this is fried chicken. You guys don't know each other, but I think you'd get along. And then you eat them. What a
You'll
delightful
get along
time.
in my stomach. I know that.
Man, I'd pay good money to lock a bunch of otters in a Golden Corral. Otters gone wild.
That'd be sick.
They go
I'd like to
nuts.
see what they could do in there.
I was watching some videos about of somebody who has otters feeding them, and I'll send them to you guys. They're pretty good. Where he gives one of them.
Is it the
like, puts down
Japanese guy?
Yeah, he puts
He has
down a
two?
whole salmon, and one of them just starts screaming, and then grabs it and tries to run under the couch.
I get
They're
it.
delightful.
That's me for real.
Yeah,
me for
It's
real.
me. A moist mass of flesh that screams when it sees salmon.
It's
me.
so good when an animal who eats fish just puts the whole fish in its mouth. That's like one of the best things you can see. Like just when it's like biting the fish and the fish is coming out on either side and it's just having a celebration. Good stuff.
Not the fish.
Not the fish. Tough for the fish. Very exciting for that animal.
Suboptimal for the fish. Fish not celebrating.
Not happy for the fish. Look, that's nature, man. It's the way of the world.
Unless the fish is like a certain tech mogul in the year 2025. Who knows? Who could say?
Who could say?
Who could say?
Number two.
Number two. Number two, this story comes to us from Shelby from the Zoom, which is Shelby, but that inspired some consternation because of the mayhem that some Discord folk like to cause.
Well, now everyone's going to be called Shelby from the Zoom, and it's going to be impossible to understand.
Well,
what's
like,
going on.
It's interesting to me that Shelby has chosen to identify himself as from the Zoom. Like he's just in here. We don't associate with him otherwise.
He's like a teacher. He lives at school.
Yeah.
We met Shelby on Zoom. That's how
Yeah.
we first met Shelby. He just hacked into one of our meetings and started playing sound effects. And we were like,
very-
who's this guy?
It's very Millhouse signing Lisa's yearbook. See you in the car, Millhouse.
Forgot about that. What a good bit. See
Best
you in
wishes.
the car.
So this is in Chelsea, which this is from the Ottawa Citizen. So I guess there's a Chelsea. Oh man, you thought that. Good God, if you thought the English one was bad, here's a sentence from this.
Shropshire.
Sergeant Martin Fournel of Sécurité Publique MRC des Collines de l'Oyote. I'm gonna put this word in the chat. You guys take a fucking crack at it. I don't know what
Okay.
the hell's going on. Over
Also,
here.
of course, it's from Ottawa or whatever. It's about a zamboni, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really could not get more Canadian. Le toit,
You're missing there's so many vowels in there.
La Toa. It's Ottawa in French, or like Ottawa in French.
All right. I'm just saying there's AOUAI, which is just a lot of
Wow.
So this is it's a Zamboni driver. He has been arrested on suspicion of impaired driving after they say it's a low speed crash. I think that's implied by the fact it's a Zamboni. I didn't think he
High
was doing
speed
80.
zamboni crash. That I want to see.
I mean, you can get not a lot of friction on that ice, especially after the Zamboni is.
I imagine it's sort of like an air hockey situation where they just sort of knock against each other and push each other really far. You know?
Yeah.
It was
just
a
knock
Zamboni
around.
on Zamboni crash.
Yeah, that would be. It would be way funnier if Zambonis could also not get any purchase on ice. If like they were also slipping and sliding around.
This thing sucks.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Who made this?
Yeah, I put racing tires on my Zamboni. I put slicks on my Zamboni, and it has gone terribly. So yeah, he. I mean, Honestly, all I got to tell you is the guy crashed a Zamboni, and you know where he crashed it because there's only one place if a Zamboni drives, and there's only one thing to crash into, which is the sides. So, he went right into the side, but not the way he's supposed to, with the side of the Zamboni cleaning it up.
You're supposed to go up, nice and flush. Get that ice all smooth all the way to the edge.
Zambonis are that's got to be so satisfying to drive. I feel like there's a moment of calm. Like hockey games can be rowdy, and I feel like there's almost when the Zamboni does it, everybody almost centers themselves. It's like group meditation.
Raking a Zen garden. You know?
Yeah. Canadian Zen garden is a Zamboni on a hockey rink.
Yeah.
They're making the Shogun of Canada draw the world map on an ice rink, and driving a Zamboni on it. So
sorry, I'm just thinking about the Shogun of Canada.
Yeah.
An American going up there and being given a ceremonial double hockey sticks that he keeps with him at all times.
Massive look of surprise from the Shogun when he realizes probably half of the border is shared with another country.
Big problem.
Yeah. There's a base here. Yeah. Ronin are here. Ronin. Mounties without masters. They're running guns out of fucking Ottawa.
For a while, that's why Rick Moranis retired for a while. He was actually they made him the Shogun, and he had to serve.
Yes, the Shogunate of Canada. Yeah, it looks, instead of a lotus or what is it, a chrysanthemum, it's just a maple leaf, but it's he's wearing a red and white like the traditional Shogun, but with the emblems are maple leaves in circles, so it's like that classic two banners over the shoulder. Oh man, that would be good. He's got it's a mullet pulled back into a ponytail.
Yep.
Hockey Shogun.
I feel like it would have similar Canadian Shogun. It would be similar problems where if you got a stinky bird or something, a Canadian's not gonna tell you about it. They're gonna apologize.
Yeah. And
I feel like a lot of
murdering themselves in front of your house.
Canadian seppuku. Yeah. They do it.
Yeah. Spoilers for Shogun, the part with the bird, but not
the part with the stinky
else.
Bird.
The part with the stinky bird. Honestly, and then hockey players aren't that, they got the pads and stuff. That's a samurai.
They do kind of look like samurai a little bit.
And they have blades.
Sure.
It's all coming together.
Canadian Shogun is Trailer Park Boys. That's
really what we're talking about here.
They both have hairstyles that have evolved from the wearing of helmets, because they have the what is it, chota, whatever.
Yeah, with the horseshoe and the bun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
mullet.
they have mullets because it's wow.
Lots of similarities.
We're really smart. On the podcast here. This guy drove a Zamboni at it says, quote, straight into the boards. So I guess just absolutely perpendicular.
No brakes. Just kablamo, exactly.
Then there's a police administered sobriety test. I hope on ice. Walking a straight line.
Police
Bro,
skating
are you
out to the
ice. Yeah. Hey, man, you look a little unsteady. Yeah, I bet. I'm wearing All-Stars. This is a fucking ice rink. He crashed it. Nobody was hurt. A door was damaged. A door onto the rink, which I don't even use those. They're always hopping over the side, which is cool.
That's crazy to do on skates.
Hopping over the side?
Nuts.
It's so cool. It's awesome, man.
Cool.
I should start watching hockey. I like when they hit each other, too. It's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Or at least rewatch Goon. That's not a season-long commitment. So he crashed it. They're charging him with... Now here's, he's been arrested on suspicion of impaired driving. Are they going to charge him as if this is a full motor vehicle? Is he going to get a DUI? Because I don't think he should. This is stupid, but it's it's an empty rink, too.
There was somebody in the comments was expressing their... this is the comments on the story here. How do you charge for impaired in this case? Not a roadway. Didn't think Zamboni were in the criminal code as a vehicle. Typo there. Zamboni.
It's a 20s gangster talking about Zambonis.
Or it's
Zamboni,
a particular...
Zamboni
somebody from
sick.
That's what they call them in New Orleans. A Zamboni.
Yeah, exactly. A Zamboni in New Orleans is probably some kind of sandwich or something.
Yeah.
They get mad when you don't know what it is.
Yeah, I got driving a zamboni into the swamps. Let's try to smooth out the bayou.
Bayou need to be smooth.
See a damn gator.
So I feel like this cannot be that surprising. The only thing that surprised me at all is that it was in between games, so it wasn't like after hours or something. They're just cleaning it up, or like after the game. But like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's not that like hockey people also drink a lot. Like,
yeah. This, to me, seems like something that should be dealt with by the employer and not by the police. Like, I don't think it needs, like, legal repercussions.
Yeah.
But, like, he should probably get in some kind of trouble, I guess. But...
yeah, he probably gets fired.
Yeah. I don't think this... I agree with you. I don't think this is, like, a DUI, like a vehicle. But it's probably something.
Yeah.
Zambonis are pretty... I think they could do some damage. They're pretty substantial. They're pretty big. Obviously, there was no one on the rink, and it can't go outside the rink, but... I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, it can go outside the rink. It's not just on the rink all the time. It has to get in there somehow. It goes into the
tunnel. Yeah, it goes into the tunnel. But, yeah, I mean, I think if it was an empty rink, and your friend was shit-faced, and they were like, I'm going to go do the Zamboni... I don't know if you ask for their keys. I think like, maybe you watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I might jump in the stands, you know? What are you going to do? Yeah. Go through the ice? There's nothing under there. That would be great if there was something under there.
If you're like on a golf cart, you get a DUI, right? If you're driving a golf cart. On the course?
Drunk? There's just also, like that's the other thing, though, I would argue if you're in them, if you're driving them and not like, you know, I think Zamboni's probably safer than a golf cart because golf carts flip because I've almost flipped a golf cart and it's easier than you think. And like that, Zambonis, I don't know if you can really tip. They don't go that fast. And like, there's no, I mean, it's famously flat. Like it's like the flattest surface on earth. You know, so I don't know what.
That's what they call it. The flattest surface
on earth. Going straight into the wall is like, kind of the worst case scenario. I guess the worst case scenario is like falling in front of it and getting
stuck in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Falling in front of it, would you get smoothed out?
Yeah.
It would smooth you out?
Flat Stanley'd out,
make
dude.
Or
you'd be like left like a frozen caveman, like you're under the ice now and you're, you know, encased.
Yeah. Encased.
They have to chop you out in a big block and melt you.
True detective style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are there any... That would be cool. I was saying, it would be cool if it was a hockey rink with, like, fish under it so that they were playing. And it's thick enough that it doesn't break.
Like a 70s nightclub?
Yeah. There should be, like, a whale shark under a hockey rink. Be cool.
I think it'd get kind of cold down there. You'd have to get, like, a beluga whale because they live in the Arctic.
Yeah. That they do.
Gotta have some air holes, though, and that's a problem. Because then...
Oh, yeah. Or does it add more?
Hockey players tripping all over the air holes.
Yeah.
This is like... It's probably less dangerous than slam ball. Or whatever that trampoline basketball was.
How dare you?
Slam ball, the ACL destroyer.
Slam ball on ice. The only thing to make it even more dangerous.
Okay.
Enemy of all ligaments. Yeah. So I don't know. I can fire this guy or whatever, but don't bring the goddamn cops into it. It's just
man, you know, just kill this guy, whatever. But you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
Number one.
Give him a talking.
Number one.
And this week's number one reason to say what a time to be alive.
This story comes to us from Hamburger Haunter in the Discord. This is from the Miami Herald. Some distressing news out in Florida. No, not climate change. Although maybe this is contributing. Somebody in Southwest Florida saw a 15-foot Burmese python swallowing a full-size deer. So that's no good. That's a bad sign.
Yeah.
There's a picture. It looks hungry. It looks hungry. It's really I'll send it to you guys.
Oh boy. Yeah.
It's pretty it's very eyes bigger than my stomach. Type situation.
Just to make the rounds on horny Twitter, you know, you're gonna see it put on some really distasteful memes. I guess I'm stupid about snakes because I thought they were like always doing this.
I guess it's unusual that they're eating things this big, and it's been happening more and more. So I don't approve of the phrasing I'm about to use, but it's the phrasing in this article. They captured 3 pythons who were doing research on them, and it says all 3 had a gape, which is what they call the maximum size that their mouth will open. Not my phrase. They had a gape of 26 centimeters, which is a 32-inch circumference.
Just the press conference for this, everyone's laughing. They're like, "Why are you laughing?" That an unreasonably large gape.
These snakes are coming for us. This is not funny.
It's not. They're slowly. This is the first act of a really shitty horror movie on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Stop
but this
laughing.
is
Florida's snakes are gaping. This is very serious.
These are 40% larger than the previously measured maximum gapes for pythons in Florida. It's no laughing matter.
It's not funny.
Yeah, not funny.
Not funny.
For more information, go to our official science website, snakeslovebigdeer.com.
Quote, "It is almost a certainty that we have yet to capture the biggest Burmese pythons in Florida. So it seems plausible that a record-breaking python could have a gape diameter of 30 centimeters and eat a 120-pound deer."
Yeah, well,
So
it's distressing to know that that's their maximum scientifically predicted gape diameter. But they're on the case.
these
I
poor
suppose.
scientists, they go to school, they've devoted their lives. They have PhDs. They go to some dinner party and people ask what they do. They're like,
I measure snakes gaping.
Patty does not care for this.
No,
He's
I'm
just
you know,
sternly shaking his head.
riding it out.
Oh, this is an after
Riding it
hours
out.
episode. Yeah. Okay. Taco Bell sound. Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe they just finally figured out that they could open their mouth more than they thought, and like one of them ate a deer, and then they were like, "Guys, we can do it." I did it, but
Yeah.
they're set for like a year, and then they just have to sit. Right? That's how they work. Is like they get it in, and then they're just like they sit and just.
I don't think they're going anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
They
really
can
is
burst.
like, you think it's,
You ever eat so much you have to kind of lay down? Well, what if it was like 2/3 of your body weight that you ate? I think you would also be kind of.
it is surprisingly like how it is in a cartoon where like it eats it and then it's the shape of the thing it ate. Like that is really what happens, you know?
Mm-hmm. And that seems dangerous with the deer because I guess maybe it's
Got
female
some pointy
deer.
parts.
Yeah, because they can burst. I've seen that. I wasn't looking for it, but it did show up on the internet.
I'm looking and they like, they pulled the deer out of it, the scientists. I think they saw
Don't
it
do
doing
that.
this and killed it and then pulled the deer out.
All right, well that doesn't help anybody.
Yeah, no, deer fully dead. I don't know why they did that other than to be gross. I feel like
Yeah. We thought this would be really gross, so we did it.
Yeah, let's wait and see if the deer survives being partially digested. No? Okay, well.
Even if you're even from a scientific perspective, it feels like you
You're
would get
safe
more
now,
data
buddy.
by. Yeah, that guy who cries on TikTok seeing my son being eaten by a Burmese python, slicing the
that's a
snake
good one.
open.
You should send him that as a request.
Yeah, but yeah, even even from a scientific perspective, like why I would just think you'd want to wait and see if the snake can do it or not, instead of cutting him open like a goddamn banana peel or whatever.
Yeah, it's really unclear. It says it describes it. The biologist says it was the most intense thing I've experienced. Common with gapes. I was reminded of what we were up against. It was also the python's last meal. Once the snake finished,
because
the
you
team
cut it in half.
Well, it says once the snake finished, the team forced her to regurgitate. With Bartosek, one of the scientists, squeezing it like a tube of toothpaste, and Easterling, one of the other scientists, pulling the deer's hooves when they popped out. Like, why? Why would you do that? It doesn't explain why they did that, other than to be gross.
Especially if you say that it's halfway done. Like,
Yeah.
it's truly 50-50 here.
It's
Like,
over.
if it's like,
They actually-
just got
they-
the legs in, all right, yeah, yank it out. It's going to take forever. But you're like, it's halfway done. Just let it finish.
I don't know
Instead
what
of
scientific purpose bringing in Arnold Schwarzenegger to say, "I hope you enjoyed your meal. It was your last," and then shooting the python in the head. That really didn't seem like. What does that have to do with the science? You know?
Yeah.
They also said that this was particularly surprising to them because snakes tend to be like more chill in the winter and not be as active, and would not generally like this. It's really energy intensive to swallow and then digest something like this. And they were like, if it was going to happen, we wouldn't think it would happen in the winter. So more bad news for large mammals.
Yeah. They mean this winter, the winter it's 72 degrees today in
Right.
New York? Like that winter? Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out. Yeah, so I didn't realize there were a whole bunch of Burmese pythons in Florida, but apparently they got there because people were buying them as pets. Which, like, granted, if you were to ask me, in what state are people buying Burmese pythons as pets, I would guess Florida, like, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
The
I get
cocaine
it.
trade
Yeah.
nurtures the
like,
Burmese python population.
it's like Pablo Escobar's hippos, you know, like same deal.
Yeah.
Then they're just endemic. So yeah, they eat livestock. They're like, they're out there, man, eating deer. So
Yeah.
goddamn.
One of them, Liz, our last episode with Carrie O'Donnell, we talk about his roommate's old snake. I don't know if that was on the episode or not, but his roommate used to have a snake. And no reason for that. Simply no reason for that.
I always think of that. I always think of that old Scotland Green joke. Our friend Scotland
yeah.
Green, who doesn't do comedy anymore, is talking about the guy who when he gets really, the guy who owns a snake who can finally bring it out of his house. Snake weather.
Snake weather. Shirtless man with a snake. Can't be having a snake with a shirt on. Gotta be shirtless.
Nope.
Skin to skin contact important to bond. To bond with this snake. You know, bonding. Like when it lays next to you in bed and measures you. It means it's getting really close.
Aww.
Just you wake
Yeah.
up and you hear the sound of a tape measure retracting really quickly, and it's like, huh?
It's measuring its jaw and then it's measuring you.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
No reason. I just
were you
like
doing?
measuring stuff.
Just hissing, nothing. Go back to
It's,
sleep.
yeah. Only thing worse, waking up and just hearing. It's working
Why
its
are
way up your
my
shin.
feet are nice and toasty? They're not cold tonight.
Oh,
Nope,
thanks,
they're
buddy.
in a snake's mouth.
Yeah.
I didn't remember going to sleep with socks on. Oh no, my Burmese python is eating my feet. Yeah, it is
Yep.
pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Pretty gross. I enjoyed it. Patty has just sent us. Okay. Sorry. The fucking TikTok crying man. What is his deal?
I don't know.
He creeps me out so much.
But this one is boyfriend with no legs. The legs is capitalized for some reason. Discovers he's going to be a dad. So that's
Yeah.
nice.
If you're not familiar, this is a guy on TikTok who gets himself so worked up he looks like Gollum, and
Read
then
more, please.
cries.
He's like, I guess they're like acting reels. It's like, look at my acting, but he only ever does one form of acting, which is having a temper tantrum, I guess I would call
He
it.
somehow makes he makes himself in real life look like when you turn the saturation all the way up on a photo. Like I don't know how that's possible. But
Deep
he does.
fries himself.
Somehow, yeah. He's deep fried. Somehow, like, everything is popping out of his head. Like, he's like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
squeezed him a little bit.
I mean, the
I would
thing is,
love
like,
to see his, like, blood pressure. Show me your Apple Watch while you do this, sir. I need to see what's going on.
these started as like auditions, and now I think they're just their own thing. He just makes money doing this, right? He's got
Boyfriend with no legs discovers he's going to be a dad. Why
Boys-
can't he just be a regular boyfriend? Why does he mention that he has no legs while he's
He
doing
looks like a
this?
12-year-old that's like trying to go Super Saiyan in the middle of a mall, and just all the blood's in their head.
Yeah, accidentally shits
Yeah.
their pants instead. Yeah,
I got a
He
couple.
definitely shits his pants when he does this. It's
he
just
for
part
sure
of it.
does.
I got a couple more quick ones. Boys of Dad swept away by flooding. That's him on the phone.
Boys of dad,
Boys
not
of Dad.
sons. Boys of dad.
Join my motorcycle gang, Boys of Dad. I'm part of
looks
the
sick on
Boys
a
of
leather
Anarchy.
jacket.
The Fellas of Anarchy.
That's the youth chapter. Boys of Anarchy. Boys of Dad of Anarchy.
Okay, this one you have to see the image because he's really going for it here. Police officer tied to explosive device has 90 seconds to say his goodbyes.
Dude, there's like spit coming out of his mouth. He does look like Gollum, dude.
He always looks like he just took away the ring. Scary Bilbo.
You should do one where it's like ring taken away.
There's also there's a lot of cheating wife stuff where he's like found out like husband finds out his wife is sleeping with his father or something. You know, it's just like, okay, like why are we making this, man? All right, but hey, we're talking about it.
Son of dad finds out wife is sleeping with father of son.
Son of dad
with boy of anarchy.
Anyway, sorry, I had to share that one. And
we should probably
nice little bonus. Let's do plugs.
Become a subscriber at patreon.com/whatatimepod for weekly bonus episodes and much more. And head to whatatimepod.com/links for our merch store, Discord, and more. Follow Patty, Kath, and Eli on Twitter and Instagram at PattyMo, at Kath Barbadoro, and at Eli Uden. And check out Kath's other podcasts, Lie, Cheat, and Steal, about liars, frauds, thieves, and bullshitters, wherever you get your podcasts. Here's where you can see us doing stand-up this week.
I don't have anything. Follow me at Kath Barbadoro until my Twitter account gets banned for various forecasts I shall be making.
Forecasts.
Forward and back-looking actionable statements.
Yeah.
She's covering it all.
I don't have too much coming up, but you can come. We're going to be doing another Sick-Ass Panther November 9th at Red Baron Inc. The headliner is still to be announced, but we got some good comics. We got Courtney McGinnis, friend of the show, Steve Malden, Brittany Carney, Kevin Casey White. Hey, there's no event up for it now, but you can put it in your calendar if you'd like. I probably wouldn't do that, so it's fine if you don't, but, keep an eye out.
I heard the headliner is going to be police officer rushes to crime scene where his daughter has been found.
Yeah.
That guy's going to scream and cry as the headliner.
Yeah. The headliner is going to be a koi pond getting decimated by a group of otters.
Yeah. I don't have anything to plug. I guess on pattymo.com on Blue Sky. I'm trying to use that more if I use anything. And just Google image search for a crying TikTok guy until you find a bunch of this guy's stuff, and highly recommend. You can watch the videos too, but I think just the images really get the job done.
The screen caps are really where it's at for sure. All right, bye everyone.
Goodbye.
Wow!